Belarusian synth-pop masters Molchat Doma are back at it again with this new record here. Came out a few days ago. It's called Monument. I'm very excited to listen to it. I think overall their last record was a pretty decent listen, and I had been pretty much cycling most of those songs in my playlists on and off for the past 6 months to a year since I had started listening to that. Very big surprise breakthrough with TikTok with these guys as well. Interesting to see that for a band that's so far removed from, I would say, a lot of Western culture while still being very much involved at the same time. Belarusian post-punk outfit here is doing a great job of catching attention of the Western world's audience. And I wouldn't even really go as far as to say that Belarus is not included in the Western world, but I wouldn't say that there's been a lot of bands that have broken out of there into a American audience's scope in quite a long time. I really wouldn't even have any other examples, but you definitely have these really interesting sort of melancholy Soviet kind of sounds coming off of their last record. And I mean, it really just makes you want to listen to the Soviet national anthem on full blast with the bass turned up really loud just to be as obnoxious as possible. Let's get into this record and we'll see you on the flip side. We have the first half of this record done, side one here. I'm not really going to try and pronounce the title tracks or the tracks of this album for you because I don't speak any of that language, and out of respect I just kind of want to gloss over that because it's not going to be pretty if I try and pronounce any of this. You got a really strong start here on this record. Intro track could almost be mistaken for kind of like an early 80s like Depeche Mode track, or even like I'm getting some kind of Skinny Puppy vibes like Rabies era off of this thing in some places. Really interesting. I mean, most of the tracks on this thing, on this first half, could really have fit into any of the early 80s or mid 80s Wax Trax label house out of Chicago. Most of the tracks would feel at home on like an Arstra Records type situation, or you can generally really tell why they're pulling their influences from here. They're really unashamedly wearing like this Joy Division New Order kind of stuff on here, along with all of that other early 80s synth pop type stuff here. The beat on this track is almost reminiscent of some like Front 242 like Headhunters era stuff. It's a really good track on here. The second track, you got some more really strong Joy Division Bauhaus type stuff here. Really light wavy guitar track, which I really love. I'm a huge fan of the airy guitars and these kind of despondent vocals. Compared to the last album, I'm already really liking the direction they're taking here. It seems like they're trying to get a lot more variety in their track listing than this just kind of these post-punk, you know, bassy, heavy, poppy ballad type situations, but I'm really liking the moodiness to this track. The third track I do know how to pronounce is Discotheque. This was one of their singles they released, which actually got me pretty excited for this record. Really infectious, groovy track here, closer in line with the material off the last record, really. Molchat Doma is kind of, I'm noticing, is kind of a one-trick pony, but they do a really damn good trick. So I can't fault them for that one. Once again, you got some more Depeche Mode kind of influences on here. You got some flares with some vocoder here and there, which is really nice as well. I really appreciate that the singer's kind of making an effort here to vary his vocal delivery. It's really nice to see on this one. The fourth track on this one, the bass one on this one is already kind of making me want to go on like a late night cruise or on some kind of like thermonuclear surfing trip. It's really damn good. And it's kind of got like a cold and brooding vibe on this one. The fifth track on this thing is some more post-punk plodding along with the bass. A little bit less in line of what I was saying earlier, but at the same time, I think I think this track here is pretty decent as well. And they're definitely pulling heavy from that Joy Division New Order kind of playbook here. And like I'm saying, the Molchat Doma stuff that we've heard up until this point is definitely one-trick pony type stuff, but I think that's kind of a genre limitation when it comes to this post-punk synth-pop stuff. It's really limited by its definition. But this album so far I have been very happy with. It's been a very enjoyable listen. I'm excited to see what's going on side 2. And after we hit that, we will see you on the flip side. Thank you so much for watching this far. All right, we're back with side two. Side two is clearly not a collection of B-sides here. The opening track really kicks ass, and I'd say this is probably one of the best offers on the record, is the first track off of side two. Track 7. So I feel like this track here, track 7, is almost giving, like, in this intro, some sort of Sisters of Mercy into Nine Inch Nails, like Pretty Hate Machine era vibes here. Really strong delivery on that as well. They got these really light and fragile synths in here, and I'm really glad that they use these to such a good effect, and that the first side of this record isn't really the only side that has some varied sounds. Really excellent offering here as well. Track 8, already really love the ascending and descending bass line here, really memorable. It's paired with really very deliberately light and delicate guitars, and it also has some of the more despondent vocals on this track as well. We're growing kind of used to them on this record, of course, because Molchat Doma is kind of airy and so sad, or melancholy might be a better way to describe that one. We get a little bit of a guitar solo here actually too, or it might be a synth with a kind of guitar plug-in, but it works really well as well. Got some really lovely vocals going off over top of the guitar solo as well, that are kind of wailing. Really well done. Final track on the record, I've said it before and I'll say it again, I'm a strong believer in closing tracks being very strong. It's no exception at all on this one. They are really trying to leave a memorable mark on this record with this last track here. It sounds basically like the tightest offering they have of kind of their last album sound mixed with this album as well. Really excellent track. The delivery of every part here is just tight, and these guys are really clearly very seasoned masters of mood and delivery at this point of said mood. I'm really loving the dual-tracked vocals on this chorus as well, and the song really finishes off with this lovely reverbed-off guitar trail here. I think it is a very good and fitting end to this record. Overall thoughts on the album, I don't know if I enjoyed this more than their last album, but it certainly is at least as strong, and I think that I doubt this is the last we're seeing of Molchat Doma, and they're probably gearing up to do some more. I was actually going to end up seeing them earlier this year until the COVID stuff started really ramping up, and I was a bit bummed about that. So I think this album here, whenever they do get around to touring again, it's going to be a really good hit with the live audiences. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like the video, please subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, tell me what I could be doing better. Tell me, you just insult me if you want, pretty cool. Leave some weird stuff if you want. Really liking some of the goofy comments I've been getting on the last few videos, and I'm trying my best to interact with those as much as I can. Check out Molchat Doma if you haven't already. Their last record, Atazi, came out in 2018. Really excellent offering there, and this one is no different. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the flip side.